Next up, Naspers. It's a multinational media giant with stakes in internet businesses in emerging markets, pay TV and print media. Naspers has a market cap of 1.4 trillion rand, a PE ratio of 129 and a dividend yield of 0.18%. So we talk about Naspers a lot, and we talk about its Tencent stake and its online retail and so on. I want to focus on its content, its TV business. It's got the legacy cash cow MultiChoice, which has done fantastically well for them, especially in the sense that they've used a lot of that cash to invest in the internet businesses, which they currently own. They've also sort of stuck to the times and created Showmax, which is their streaming division. And interesting with Showmax is it seemed like they were losing quite a lot of DSTV clients. So now they've offered Showmax for free to premium DSTV clients.
Yeah. Well, that is really, again, to make sure that you hold on and you have a loyal client base for you to be able to grow. So I think MultiChoice, as you put it, that was one of the brands or the product they wanted to use to make sure that they grow and capture the African market. So they had the Big Brother, I don't know if they're still showing it, which was quite massive. And that's what they managed to use to go into the rest of the continent, because they would get all these different participants from all the African countries, and everybody would watch. So
and of course the sport's huge. I mean, something like the Premier League, the British Premier League, is massive throughout the continent. Unfortunately, though, with the weaker rand, they've had to buy that content in pounds.
Yes.
So over the last few years, that's been tough.
Yes.
And those TV rights are very expensive.
No, certainly, I think they're very expensive, but I think that's what we all do during weekends. I promise you, there's nothing you're going to do without allocating a little bit of time to Super Rugby, the Tri-Nations, and the English Premier League. And certainly, they've also brought some of the leagues on board, in
La
particular,
Liga, Bundesliga,
La Liga, and also the African League. You know, you do watch the Nigerian, Kenyan, Zambian leagues on there. That is
and
really
they bought the ABSA Premier League in quite recently, which was about 5 or 6 years ago, which was a massive boost of income to the local Premier League. Exactly,
which has really caused also a little bit of a storm with the public broadcaster, because those rights were saying you can then take them to pay TV rather than. So I think they've done very well, and they've tried to make sure that they complement what Tencent is bringing to them. In South African context, it is very difficult to bet against Tencent, and I think anybody who has stayed out of Tencent, you would have lost quite a lot of opportunity from a returns perspective. You're looking at about 57% return. So if you take over the last 10 years, Naspers has produced annualized above 30%.
That's fantastic, and still trading at a massive discount to the sum of the parts. I've read certain reports that suggest that just this TV business is probably, or could be, worth up to between $6 and $10 billion. So that's a massive business. If it was separately listed on the JSE, it would be a top 40 company. But I think it's good that Naspers hold on to it. The cash is very important to them. They are remaining on top of things. There are talks that they could be selling the rest of Africa MultiChoice business to MTN. That is sort of hitting the rumor streets. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Naspers.
I think if they were to do that, then what is going to have? Because then you said some of past, so we've got the Tencent, we've got the African business, and the gaming and the other businesses. I'm not quite sure. I think you're suggesting that could they have basically listed it separately? I think what they're not selling possibly, what is the African kind of the part doing in terms of obviously value, possibly could be valued more.
Well, they could look at online retail throughout the continent. Hot or not on Naspers?
It's very difficult to bet against Naspers. I'll remain hot on momentum.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you there. Definitely hot on Naspers.